And you ready to go?
Sure.
Sweet.
Let's do this.
So how long have I been trying to get you on the podcast?
Oh, man. 3 or 4 years, probably?
Been a little while.
I think so.
Yeah, because I originally met you. I remember meeting you for the first time at the Sportsman's Warehouse.
Yeah.
Down in Medford.
Yep.
And I was with my family.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, just everything. I think ever since then I followed you. I followed you for a while.
Yeah. And then we started connecting and talking about doing this. And it never really happened like we planned it to originally.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, after your caribou hunt this year, I was like, dude, I got to have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, like I was going to do an episode and I probably still will.
Yeah.
Where I talk about my 5 favorite Instagrams to follow, my like 5 people that you don't follow that you should kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because how many followers are you on Instagram?
I think I'm up into like the 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, you deserve to have way more than that.
Yeah.
You should be 20 or 30 easy.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And I'm like, there's a few accounts like that, and so I want to do my part in getting the word of you out there, and share you with my audience, you know, and then I'm sure I know you've already got offers on other podcasts as well, and I bet your name gets out there pretty freaking awesome this year.
I have a feeling it will too.
Yeah. So give me a little bit of background about you, Evan. Let the audience know who you are, where you came from, and stuff like that.
So my name's Evan. I was born with spina bifida, so I'm not in my eyes, but in the eyes of society, I'm a disabled hunter, even though I don't consider myself that. And I've used a wheelchair and crutches my whole life, and I've overcome and adapted in pretty much every way possible, and proved everybody wrong in every way possible.
Yeah.
And I've had dreams of going places and hunting and traveling, and everything is starting to come into my life. Just by talking to the right people and just positive thoughts. And like a lot of people have said, if you manifest it, it does happen.
Yeah.
If you think about it enough and focus on it and focus on the way to get to that, there will be a way.
I 100% agree. And I've listened to a lot of, and I've read a lot of books, like self-growth, self-help, leadership, all that stuff. And one common thing that an author I really love to listen to and read, John Maxwell, in one of his books, I think, I forget which book it was. I've read like 10 of his, but he says, once you start moving towards your dream, the resources will start moving towards you.
Yep.
And it's just like, I don't understand what that means until you start actively working towards your goal. Then these random people start appearing, and they want to help you out.
Exactly.
And I know a couple of the people that have helped you out along the way, but what has been like one of the biggest factors to get you started? Like, what was the biggest thing that got you going?
I'm pretty much self-driven when it comes to wanting to get out and do that kind of stuff. And the caribou hunt, for instance, 2 amazing people helped me out with all of this. Riley Pitts and his wife, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And then Caleb White and his wife, Kayla. Those 4 are the starting point where this all happened. And it was like 2 years ago where we started talking about it. And I thought, it's just a pipe dream. This is not going to ever happen. This is a once-in-a-lifetime, out in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, rich man's game.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to ever afford this. And then they called me and said, hey, let's go to lunch. We got something to talk about. And we went and talked about it for a while. And I still can't wrap my mind around it that I actually did it.
Yeah.
And that was almost 6 months ago.
So did they sponsor the hunt for you, or what? Did they hook you up with an outfitter? What did they do?
So Riley is an outfitter for big game backcountry outfitters or big game backcountry guides in Alaska, and Caleb is one of his guides.
Oh, so give the name again one more time to the listeners.
Big game backcountry guides.
Big game backcountry guides.
Yeah.
And where are they based out of?
So believe it or not, they're actually in Butte Falls.
Really?
Yeah. They live in Butte Falls,
Alaska.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he hunts Dall sheep, caribou. Dall sheep, caribou, wolf, and grizzly in the Brooks range.
I will, for the folks listening to this, just to help people that do good out, I will put the link to their website in the description if you guys want to check it out. So
yeah, definitely.
Because I think that's pretty damn cool.
It is. It was amazing.
So I don't. You said you're open to talking about everything.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want you to you kind of brushed over what you were born with, but
right.
If you just told me what that was, I wouldn't know what that was.
Right. Exactly.
So walk me through that.
So basically, in layman's terms, when I was born, part of my spinal cord was exposed. So part of the vertebrae didn't form all the way around in a couple spots. So the easiest way to describe it is I have, it's kind of vertigo. Like my equilibrium is completely off at all times unless I'm connected to the ground with a crutch, or I could literally put my hand on your shoulder and I can stand up. But other than that, I have no balance.
Really?
Yeah.
And so, like coming up the steps, you weren't able to get your foot up on the step. Is that what part is that?
The motor skills. I need to do the more on the weights on my legs and stuff.
Copy. So when it comes to being mobility, what is your range of what is your limit? Could you go up a flight of stairs? Could you go up a mountain? What could you do?
I've been able to do some pretty good things. I could probably go up a flight or two of stairs. It would just take me a few minutes to do it.
Yeah.
And then climbing mountains, that's a little rougher, but it can be done. Like while I was up there, I didn't get out of my wheelchair hardly at all. It was mostly wheelchair because it was relatively flat in most of the spots that we were at.
So how long can you go before you have to sit down or something like that?
On like skid roads and stuff up in the mountains, 150, 200 yards. Yeah. Give me like 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Just the. Yeah. 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 Yep. I've been watching. I've seen pictures and videos. Oh yeah. Some of those spots, because some of those spots are pretty steep.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how like over here on the west side, it's not. I wouldn't call it steep and deep, but it's steep and broken.
Yeah. It's only 200 yards down, but it's literally like a 40-degree angle.
Yeah.
All the way down.
And the ground's broken. The soil's all saturated. Yeah. I mean, I fall and eat shit all the time.
Yeah. And I have a few times too. And it's not fun.
Yeah, man. I see. That's just I feel so like anytime I feel like, man, I don't want to go up there, and I'm like, man, I thought about you quite a few times over in Idaho.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of being a little bitch. I'm like, Evan was out there in the freaking tundra, dude. I'm like, just fucking suck it up, And I'm like, man, like, so you did impact my season. I want you to know that. Like, I honestly really do look up to you, and I get motivated and inspired by you. Yeah. And that was my biggest thing for wanting to have you on the podcast.
And that's what I want to do is I want to show people that you just have to push yourself at it at times, and it may be tough. It does hurt, but if you have the mindset, you can do it.
So I want to go over what you've done. I want to get into the caribou hunt.
Okay.
But you've also got an antelope 2 years ago, right?
19.
19.
Yeah.
And then you've also, haven't you killed a deer with your bow too?
Yeah, I got my deer on Thanksgiving in 2020.
Yeah.
And then I got my antelope in Wyoming in 2019. And I got a black bear spring of 2020.
Right.
So
didn't you go with one of my buddies on that one?
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yep.
Leonard took it. Yeah. Yep. Good guy. He's a really good guy. I like Leonard. Yeah. He was totally excited to help you out and stuff.
Yep.
And
we worked hard on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All season.
I think he helped pack that out for you too.
Yeah, he actually did pack it out almost whole.
Yeah. Such a cool guy, dude. Yeah. Give you the shirt off his back kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. But so you're not just hunting out of a wheelchair, you're bow hunting. It's just like, if that's that's not hard enough, let's just freaking make it harder.
Right. Yeah. Most of it is bow hunting unless it was, the bear was a rifle and the antelope was a rifle. And so was the caribou, but the deer and all my turkeys have been with my bow.
Right.
So.
Man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So tell me how you're doing. How, are you sitting in a blind? Are you walking or wheeling down roads?
So it's pretty open out there actually where I've been hunting.
Uh-huh.
I've actually just been sitting in my wheelchair a couple times next to some oak trees and just happened to see a turkey walk by at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then same thing with the deer. That one was kind of a makeshift blind. My buddy has a little shooting shack that I couldn't fit in because the windows were too high. They're meant for standing. So I had to sit on the front porch, and we put a piece of mesh over the front of the front porch, and I shot through that.
Really?
Yeah.
So I know some guys shoot right through the mesh.
Yeah.
Just,
we had
no problem.
we cut a little hole in it so I could get through it, but I could have shot through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of the outfitters in like I know you're talking about going to Africa, which I think is cooler and shit.
Oh yeah, I really want to do that.
Some of the guys will have you shoot right through the mesh in their blind.
Yeah.
And you'll see a bunch of like square X's and stuff.
Yep, that's what I've seen pictures of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into your caribou hunt, and then I want to talk about some other stuff too. But
okay.
So you met with what was their names again?
Riley and Caleb.
And they're like, hey, let's take you to freaking Alaska.
Right. Yeah, and we were trying to figure out all the logistics for it. It took us about 2 years to really get it all figured out.
This was a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So what happened there? Is this because of reservations and stuff?
Logistics, financially, and a bunch of different things.
Did you have to train or prepare in some sort of way?
Mentally, it was a little bit taxing on me, yes. Physically, yes, I did. I didn't go to the gym, but I did my own workouts. I walked up and down my grandparents' driveway almost every day.
That's that.
At least twice a day.
You post that on Instagram too.
Yeah.
You do that. Yeah, I remember seeing you.
Yeah,
post that.
Yeah, and it may only be 250 yards, 300 yards at the most, but it's on crutches on loose gravel, and it's a little bit of an angle. So
how many times have you eaten shit doing that?
Actually, none yet.
Never, really?
Surprisingly.
Oh man.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I have not eaten shit on that driveway yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I've come close a couple times on cold mornings, only because my hands were cold, but it didn't actually happen.
One of my hunt partners, Shelby, if the wind blew hard enough, it would trip her. She's so freaking clumsy, dude.
I know a few people that are like that.
Well, I followed her around on a hunt one time, and it was just like me. I felt like the whole time I wasn't filming a hunt. I was just filming her falling over.
Yeah.
And then I was going to make a montage, and then I lost the footage.
Oh, no.
I was so pissed. But I was going to, like, send her a montage of her eating shit for, like, 5 minutes.
Yep.
But, so you were walking down your folks' driveway, and then what else were you doing? How often were you shooting?
I was shooting my bow a lot, and I was shooting my rifle a couple times a week just to make sure. And then I got really confident with my rifle out to about 500 yards. So I figured that would be my comfort zone is 500 and in. And we got to about 450 yards.
Yeah.
So,
you shot it at 450?
Yeah.
I mean, 500 yards anymore, man. That's a poke, but it's super doable.
It is, yeah. Especially
you don't have to shoot a lot to get very proficient at
right. And on a caribou, believe it or not, they're pretty good sized animals.
Yeah.
They don't look that big from 500 yards away, but up close, they're 400 pounds.
You know, I've heard one thing about caribou. If you put a bullet in them, they don't go very far.
No.
They just kind of wimps.
Yeah.
Not like an elk.
Yeah, it didn't like totally spaz out like an elk if you miss. It's weird. They bunch up like
protect each other kind of thing.
They don't run like elk do. They just kind of bunch up and walk away and just let that other one just lay there.
So you obviously took your wheelchair to Alaska.
Yep.
And I think my favorite freaking photo was you in the middle of the tundra.
Yeah.
In a wheelchair.
Yep.
Is there grizzlies out there too, right?
I had a grizzly tag too, and there was one at 800 yards, not far away from that picture.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
I think that was what I was looking at actually in the picture.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the start of your story. So you leave for the airport, you get there, and then walk me through what happened.
So we left August 25th, and got there the morning of the 26th in Prudhoe Bay. So we flew from Medford to Seattle to Anchorage to Prudhoe Bay. And Prudhoe Bay was where we got on my buddy's little Super Cub, I believe is what he has.
Were you able to fit your wheelchair and everything just fine?
Barely.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering, did they have to take it apart?
We did, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, we had to take it apart to put it in on the plane.
Now, how much does that weigh? You had to weigh it, I'm sure.
They didn't weigh it because it was a mobility device. They didn't count it as anything other than baggage.
That's cool.
So normally they probably would have weighed it as extra baggage, but I told them it's It's not foldable. You cannot take this thing apart.
So is this a special type of wheelchair?
Yeah, it's a kind of an off-road chair. It's a rigid frame with like big e-bike kind of tires.
Oh, okay. So it's not one of the. You didn't take like I was talking to my mom about you, and she's like, "Did they get one of those traction chairs?" I'm like, "I don't think they could fit one of those things in a plane. It's way too heavy."
Yeah, those things are like 300 pounds. I have one.
Yeah,
They're heavy.
Yeah,
and they don't come apart very easily.
They're like a mini tank, basically, dude. It's like and. Yep. I'm like, I think you took like a legit freaking wheelchair. That's all he had.
Yep.
So you land and walk me through that.
So we landed, met everybody at camp, got my bags and stuff, and then put all my stuff in the tents. And then we went into the cabin, met the other guides, met a couple other outfitters that were with them, met a couple of the other clients, met the family's daughters and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then hung out and ate lunch and dinner and watched herds of caribou walk by camp.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was there at the kind of the end of the migration, and I still think we saw over 1,000 caribou in the 2 weeks we were there.
Really?
Yeah.
And now you're hunting caribou. And I'm probably wrong on this. From what I understand, they shed around the second week of September, first week of September, or when about was this herd shedding?
So there was kind of a
shedding velvet
50-50.
Okay.
So there was a lot hardhorn, but then there was a lot that were still in velvet or still coming off.
Okay.
I saw some that you could see from far away that were so fresh that they were blood red.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
It was fun to.
And you were like beginning of September.
Yeah, I was there. I shot my caribou on August 30th.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't remember. Yours was yours was still in velvet.
Yeah, mine was in full velvet.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How many did you pass up any before you got a shot at that one, or what was your goal getting over there?
I did miss one a day or two earlier, but I figured there's a reason for it.
Yeah,
there's a reason I missed this one, and then that one walked by with another group the day I got him, and he was totally different than anything else we ever saw out there.
Really,
he had kind of like a grayish brown velvet, and all the rest had chocolate velvet or hardhorned.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So what made you want to choose this one? Just because he was different or special?
It was different. It was just something told me that was the one.
So walk me through the hunt, though, because you got there on the 25th, right?
Yeah, we left here on the 25th and got there on the 26th.
So you hunted for 3 or 4. Well, because you can't hunt the same day you fly.
Right. So
you
got
hunted
there
for 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got there. We flew out to Spike Camp on the 27th, and we hung out for a couple days. And the night we got to Spike Camp was the night that the Grizzly showed up, so I couldn't shoot it.
Oh, how close was it?
850. Or no, not 850, 805.
805.
Yeah.
And was he a good one?
It was nice. We guessed him at 7 foot.
Really?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Big chocolate legs, big golden body on it.
Really?
Big square head. Yeah, it was a good bear.
Man.
And that was what I wanted. I wanted a big, mature bear. And
Yeah.
it was definitely a big, mature bear.
I gotta be honest, like, that takes a set of stones to go out and hunt grizzlies in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody was telling me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I was like, dude, when I go to, me and my dad are looking at going to caribou hunting in Alaska in the next couple of years, and it's like I'm like already like nervous about grizzly bears because I have no experience with them.
Right.
Right. I mean, neither of us do, and you do now. And it's just like I don't know what to expect. Like, am I gonna be able to like if I get in bow range of one, am I gonna be cool? How am I gonna handle my shit? And I'm like, you're out there in a wheelchair making me look like a pussy.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience seeing them. And then it was not only that one, but there was a sow and a cub that were about 2 miles out on another ridge.
Yeah.
The cub was the size of our average black bear around here. And it was unreal. The cub was probably 250 pounds.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's freaking. My worry is that you kill something, you hang the meat, and then you're going to be competing with a freaking grizzly bear when you go back and get it.
Right.
So
that's what you got to deal with sometimes.
I know. Yeah. So the day that you killed your bull, how'd that go?
So we were glassing at like I think it was about 10 o'clock in the morning, just looking around the hillsides.
How far from camp were you?
I think from the Caribou to where I was sitting was 450. I think it was about the same distance back to spike camp.
So not too far, but I picture like that's a really long ways. Are you like willing yourself freaking through the tundra?
My buddy was pushing me the whole time.
I'm just like, I just pictured you out there willing yourself around the fucking tundra. I was like, Jesus, but that makes more sense.
Yeah. No, I did push myself around out there for a while though,
Yeah.
just to get used to it, and it's not that bad. It's
Really
pretty compacted.
I thought it would be because you always hear about these like these floating things that look like they're land, but when you step on them, you fall 4 feet, 3 feet.
No, we were above the Arctic Circle, so everything was permafrost.
Oh, cool. So okay, that makes
the
more
top layer was the vegetation, but everything else was just really
You
hard
didn't have to deal with those false steps.
No.
Oh, good. I'm like, how is he doing this?
Yeah, it was interesting, but no, nothing like that. There was a few spots that had some interesting cracks in the ground.
Yeah.
Only because the permafrost would separate and go back together, and so it was like trying to go through lava rock a couple times because it was such a big gap in the middle of something, and then my wheel would hit it, and the wheel would turn a little bit, so it would have to stop and back up for a second. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Was your Caribou a pretty average Caribou, or was it a big Caribou compared to the rest of them?
He was average. Something about him made me want that one because of the color and the size.
Yeah.
So
I have that same kind of mentality when I go like kill an antelope or something. It's like, dude, the difference between a giant and a regular
it's
one
like
is
2 inches.
Couple inches.
Yeah.
I'm like, just go out and have fun and
yeah,
hunt.
exactly.
Kind of like a mountain goat.
Yeah.
Shoot a good one, but like it doesn't matter if it. To me, it doesn't matter.
Right. I'm the same way.
I don't give a shit if I shoot a world record. I really don't.
Nope, I'm the same way.
I have no idea what that scores.
No.
I have no idea.
No clue.
So,
Nope.
But yeah, Caribou. Like I just know what I like. Kind of like you. Like I want something. I have something in my head.
Right.
If it fits that,
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah. And that's how it was for me. I knew the basic style and size of the antlers that I wanted, and the same thing with the Grizzly. I knew I wanted a big golden body and chocolate legs.
Yeah.
And that was the one that I saw. I just couldn't touch it because it was the same day.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Huh.
And those tags are not cheap, but it's definitely worth it.
Did you? What's a tag run?
1,000 for a Grizzly and $650 for a Caribou.
And then typically a guided hunt for a Grizzly is like $10,000, isn't it? 8 to $10,000.
I think I don't know the true numbers, but I'm guessing this hunt was close to 20.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this was an experimental thing. They
didn't know how it was going to work.
Right. And they were basically doing this on a whim of, let's do this and see what happens.
Right.
And if it works out for everything the right way, we'll do this every year somehow.
Was anybody videotaping this, or did you make any footage out
Pictures and a little bit of video every once in a while.
This would have been a pretty cool video.
I wish I would have had a camera with me to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep, that was one of the few things that I really should have brought with me was a camera. Cell phone was cool, but didn't have an actual camera.
Well, once you start filming your hunts, it's hard to not film your hunts.
Right,
But
exactly.
There does come a point where I'm just going to leave the camera at home and go have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's like, man, this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Nothing
to stress out.
Yeah, it doesn't detract you from the moment.
Right, exactly.
You probably got every morsel you could out of experience, right?
I did.
You just don't have the video to go back and relive it. Right. You just have the memories.
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
it's just like when you go to the coast, you know exactly where you were at that one moment in time.
Right.
Just that one breath of fresh coastal air.
Right.
And it's just like that in the mountains up there because it's a totally different environment up there. You would think you're above the Arctic Circle. You would think that it's like the tundra and you're in 3 feet of snow all the whole time. I was honestly dressed in jeans and a long sleeve.
How cold was it?
50-ish.
That's not bad.
It snowed a couple times, but it only little snow flurry that lasted for an hour or two.
Man, that sounds like a good hunt.
Yeah, it was.
You're selling me on it.
Yeah, and then there was Dall sheep everywhere.
Really?
On every mountain crag around us, every day. I bet we saw a couple hundred Dall sheep.
Man, those things aren't cheap.
No, those are 20 to 30 by themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And every outfitter's got a different price on that.
Really?
So, depends on how many days you want to be there, where you want to hunt them, what size animal you want. If you're looking specifically for a trophy,
really,
you're going to pay trophy fees.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Man, well, if I went on a Dall sheep hunt, I would want to shoot. That's one where I would want to shoot the biggest one I could find.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of an antelope.
I know, right? In the same way. And
I want that double spiral.
Yeah. I got to put my hands on damn near a 40-inch ram while I was up there. It was beautiful. They're unreal. I've touched mountain goats before.
They're a lot smaller than you think they are when you get
mountain
up
goats.
Yeah, they're tiny.
They're little
guys.
Yeah. And then I've touched Rocky Mountain bighorns. I've touched desert bighorns. But something about a Dall sheep is it's its own world when you're looking at those things up close, because they're small, kinda, but they're like 250 pounds.
Yeah.
At like 2.5 feet tall.
Stocky little things. Yeah. When my brother shot his bighorn sheep, they couldn't believe how big they were when they got up to him.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I think he said it was like 250 pounds or something.
Yeah,
like
they're a good size animal.
Best meat I've ever had, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people.
Crap.
Yeah.
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 But have you had any of your caribou yet?
Yeah, it's good. So, I would say it's hard to really describe. It's red meat like elk, but it's more flavorful like antelope. It's the best way to describe it.
I don't mind it. A lot of people hate antelope, but I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. I think antelope tastes good.
Yeah. You ever had canned venison antelope?
No, not yet.
I'll leave you with a bottle here.
Okay.
I got plenty of it.
Okay.
But so, what's one thing that if you wanted people to that are going to look into you and start following you, what's one thing that you're hoping to achieve by getting your name out there and stuff?
Oh boy, I just want to be able to inspire people and just get out there and show them and help if I can.
Yeah.
Get out there and do things. Just because I'm in a wheelchair, I'm not limited. It's all in your head. If you really think about it, you can do anything you really put your mind to.
Right.
So
the effort. I mean, I totally 100% agree. That just the effort might be. It's going to take you more effort.
Right.
But
you have to find a different way to do it.
You can still do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That 2 years of thinking really got me thinking about that hunt. And I know that I can do any other hunt that is put in front of me. I just have to figure out the way to do it.
Right.
So
yeah, kind of like if you want to do, you can do anything if you want to bad enough, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll find excuses if you don't want to. You'll find ways to do it if you want to.
Oh, I find excuses not to go to the gym all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right there with you. I'm the same way.
Well, unfortunately, we got to get going. We have you speaking at our local chapter, Oregon Hunters Association.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for coming up here for that. But I want to take a couple more minutes to let you talk about your platforms, how people can find you. Don't you have a YouTube channel too?
I started one, but I never really did anything with it yet.
Right.
But I'm going to get back into it.
Yeah.
So it's Making Tracks Outdoors is my YouTube and my Instagram. And my Facebook is Evan Brannock. So if anybody wants to follow me on any of those.
Spell your name on there so people
EvanBrannock.
Perfect. And I'm going to tag you when we post this too.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, can I take a picture of you?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. And I'm going to post and just start promoting your shit and stuff. And,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like I said, man, there's not a lot of guys out there that I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick. There's just not a lot of guys out there that I really, truly appreciate and respect like I do you.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that.
Right.
I don't listen to other hunting I don't listen to hunting podcasts at all.
Yeah.
I don't. Zero.
Yeah.
I don't even really listen. I go back and listen to mine when I forget something. I need to go back and get the information.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so I don't watch hunting shows. I don't nothing.
Yeah.
But I follow your stuff because it really does inspire me.
Yeah.
And I do really hope that people can latch on to what you're doing. And I think I referred to you last year as an excuse eliminator. Like this guy's going out and getting it done. What's your fucking excuse?
Yeah, exactly.
And I just think that's so freaking key when everybody is finding excuses and just getting distracted with all this bullshit out there.
Yeah.
You're out there going out and living your best life.
Exactly. And I got a lot more things going on in the near future, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
Is there anything that you're excited about that you want to share or anything like that?
So I've been talking to a couple of the really big people in the industry and big businesses.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through Club Ovis. I've got 4 of the Big 10 so far, and I'm gonna get the Big Ten eventually, and one of the executives wants to be there when I get that plaque to hand it to me personally.
That's pretty sick.
So,
has anybody ever done it that is, I guess, mobility impaired?
No, not that I know of.
So you'd be the first
I'd
one
be
to
the
break
first
that.
person in a wheelchair to break that barrier.
That's pretty sick.
And I want to do it.
I believe you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So,
and I may not be able to get all the way to the Super Slam of the U.S., but I'm going to find a way to get to the Big Ten.
Have you ever thought about starting like a Go crowdfund or anything like that?
I've thought about it. I was looking into it just to see what it would take to get that thing going.
Yeah.
I just don't know exactly how to do all of that.
I honestly think, dude, I think it would go pretty good.
It probably would.
Honestly.
I think I need to brainstorm into it a little bit more.
Yeah, especially before you start getting onto more podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
And you have this all set up.
Yeah.
I think.
That'd be a good idea.
I'd support.
That'd be
100%.
awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, all right. So it's Evan Brannock on Instagram, on YouTube. It's Making Tracks.
Yeah.
And is it just Making Tracks?
Yeah, Making Tracks Outdoors.
Making Tracks Outdoors.
Yep.
And I really hope that you start pumping out some content, or somebody is out there willing to go out there and film you.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Are you still working at Sportsman's down there in Medford?
Yep, I'm still at Sportsman's Warehouse.
Yeah. Stop by and see you.
Yeah, definitely. Come by and say hi.
All right, brother. Well,
right.
we got to get you to this meeting so you can go speak.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me.
Hey, no problem.
All right.